All right, welcome back to Tribal Council. Before I get to any questions, Madison, if there's something you want to say.
Yes, please. I would just like to clarify that my sweatshirt does not say Make America Great Again. It says Make America Rage Again, like Prophets of Rage, the band. I just would like to clarify before anybody's like, what you wearing, sis? Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, um, first of all, let's talk a little bit about last round. So last round, there was no real tribal discussion, um, either in the form of like these questions or in um, in your open discussion time. So, Minor, what do you think?
This song is literally about Kuwait.
Oh, hello, Matt. So, Minor, what do you think? Um, like, was going on last round? Like, what was your take on last round?
Was wild. Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be the challenge, and then maybe a tribal, but I didn't think there was gonna be another challenge like right afterwards. The process like after everything happened. But I feel like I was bamboozled because we didn't use any of the items.
um, Little inside secret: we were going to use some of the items for the second challenge, but then that didn't work for everyone, so we flipped it up. So yeah, so you got that instead. But anyways, beside the point. So, Timmy. So with Colin gone, that's obviously he's won a couple challenges, so that's a pretty big and it's a little bit of a challenge to out of the game. So how do you think that's affecting the vote, especially in the end game when challenge wins are so important?
I mean, like, pretty much there are people who've won. There's like, the one with the most challenge wins is Chips. Then after that, it's like me, Madison. Actually, Minor also has two now, but he's immune. Then Madison and I have one each, and then Matt and Devin have zero. So it's kind of like there's two of each. So I mean, it's like, affects something at least, but nothing where it's just like, oh my god, because like each challenge has been different. Where it's like you can't always focus on it because each challenge has been some kind of like you need a different skill to succeed.
So we've been talking a lot of the past couple of rounds have sort of been like mimicking the pre-merge a little bit in the whole sort of like voting block last minute scrambles. So how is this, especially with Final Six, this is when people really start thinking about who they're going to the end with. So Madison, what kind of game do you see winning in the end?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, my mom got loud.
We've been talking a lot about like musical chairs and like sort of how this has mimicked the pre-merge in that there's a big scramble, but at this point in the game, especially at Final Six, people start to think about Final Tribal Council because at most only half of you are going to be there, or already half of you are going to be there, and at least two of you are going to be there. So how is that affecting your game, and what kind of game do you think will be the one to take home the win in the end?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like we've been doing the musical chairs thing in the past, but like I think now it's getting a lot more calculated, like as people are thinking of who exactly they want to take to the end. I think there's a lot less like swing around, and it's a lot more decisive, like right off the bat, or at least it has been this round. Who knows what'll happen in the future? But I think at this point, it's gonna come down to like each individual person in their game and who they think they can beat, and that's how it always has to end up, of who do you actually think you can take to the end and who do you think you can beat, and how much does loyalty play in, and like do you want to go there with the people that have been with you the whole game, or do you cut them off now and go for the win and hope they forgive you and you get their vote in jury? Like there's a lot of factors that go into it. I don't know how it'll end up in the end for this game. I don't know where the jury's heads are at, but for now I think that's kind of everyone's train of thought.
Matt, what are you doing right with this vote and this move to maximize your shot at being not just in the final 5, but in the final 2 or 3?
Well, I was talking before about how it's more important now to think about less of who you're getting rid of and more on who you're keeping, whether it's people that you can vote with for the next 2 votes, but at the same time don't really know if you want them in the final tribe. There's so many different dynamics to it. So I'm just thinking about who I feel like I can trust and sit next to comfortably, and that's not something that's easy to figure out.
Devin, so it seems like a lot of people in this game are starting to take a really more calculated approach. So is there anyone at this point in the game that you think, you don't have to name names, but do you think everyone still has a fair shot at winning this game? Like it still is anyone's game?
With the current participants left, I do not feel like it's anyone's game. I think there are clear-cut or some clear-cut people who are going to beat basically anyone left in this game. You can agree or disagree with me, but I definitely feel that there are players left in the game that if they get to it, no matter who they sit next to, unless they're sitting next to each other, are going to win this game.
Minor, how do you feel about that statement? Do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts?
I think it's more equal. I think because like everyone has done something, so I feel like there's no one has been just here, just like along for the ride.
So also, there's been a lot of, like, it seems like this game has been controlled by, like, as you guys have said, musical chairs and voting blocks made up of like smaller alliances, like 1, 2, 3, 1 person alliance. What am I saying? 2 or 3 person alliances. So, Devin, at this point, do you think that like those alliances are coming together more and staying more strong, like a couple people coming together, or is it still really people trying to figure out like not only get to the end but also like still maneuver in within the game?
I would definitely say, like, especially since merge, except for like the first vote when everybody voted Steven off, which was epic. I don't know if anybody remembers that. There's definitely been smaller alliances who have directed the votes, and it's varied from person to person, varied from group to group who controls it. And I think this is honestly the first round, and this is just from what I got today. This is probably the first round where everybody's more individualized. What's best for me going forward? Madison alluded to earlier. We're at a point in the game now where, we've had loyalty, we've had groups together, but we all now are kind of like, well, what's best for me going forward now? And I think this is the first round where, people are more breaking up and becoming more individual players by having to, worry about protecting somebody else.
Timmy, what are you doing specifically this round to protect yourself?
Making sure I talk to people and making sure like I'm in the loop, pretty much. Just making sure I'm aware of like all sides, all angles, and just at least as best as I can be to figure out the actual core of what's happening.
Madison, do you think you have a pretty good handle on what's happening tonight?
I feel like every time I say that I do is when I really, really don't. So I'm just gonna say like I know to the best of my ability what's happening, but the best of my ability it's Survivor, so that's not very much. So that's the tea.
All right, and Matt, we've covered a lot this tribal. What is one thing that you want everyone to think about when they're casting their votes tonight?
Probably like what's best for me, as me personally. No, I want everyone just to think about like, I don't know. I feel like we all get along pretty well. So just I don't know. I literally don't know.
Yeah, can I just say this is such a cute like close to endgame. Like we're all like I feel like we all get along really well, and just in general, like the jury and this cast in general has been really cute. So
Yeah.
word.
I just know it's not going to be personal if it's me, and I know like I don't mean anything personally. So I hope it's all like everyone knows like game respect game.
All right. So with that, does anyone else have anything left to say? All right. I will count down from 10 to 0. You have that time to cast or change your vote. At that time, all votes will be locked. So let's get to it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I'll go get the votes. You have each other to keep yourselves company.
How's everybody doing?
I like your mug. It's Sally, right?
Thank you. Yes, it is. My lovely boyfriend, who's sitting next to me, got it for me for Christmas, and he got me a Jack one for our 6-month anniversary yesterday. So cute! Wow.
No.
Timmy, what are
It's
you
my
drinking?
favorite.
Wait, what?
What are you drinking?
Oh, rum and coke.
Bet. Yeah.
Ew.
Solid. Did you say ew?
Yeah, gin and coke is better.
David, rum and coke is where it's at.
What?
Wait. What did you say?
What did you
I
say?
said, David, rum and coke is where it's at.
No, but gin and coke is better.
No, gin is awful.
I actually like gin, but
Gin is really good.
I respect your choice, Timmy.
Well, vodka and Sprite's better
I
than
respect
both.
yours as well.
Ew.
Wait, what do you say?
He said vodka and Sprite's better than both of those.
If you add grenadine.
Oh,
Yeah, grenadine. Fuck
is
yeah.
he
Yeah.
drinking it from a solo cup?
The gren's are cherry
He
temple.
is. He's drinking it from a solo cup.
Oh, I'm judging. Drink it from a mug, dude.
A mug? What?
Hell yeah.
Mug?
Stay classy.
I'm drinking rum in my bedroom at 10:45 at night. I'm not classy.
Timmy is getting lit. Timmy is an adult and he is getting lit right now.
I'm an adult. I just turned 23. Let me live my life.
Yeah.
It almost feels like there's something in there.
All right, I have the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, that'd be the time to do so.
So Monty,
For Devin.
I'm gonna go ahead and play the legacy advantage this round. It's the last round I can play it, so I'm just doing it to be safe, but I'm playing it on myself.
All right, this is a legacy advantage. This round, it acts as a hidden immunity idol, which means all votes cast for Devin will not count. I will read the votes. First vote, Devin does not count.
This part where it's like all canyon.
Second vote, Devin does not count. Third vote, Timmy.
I've always wanted to go to Coeur d'Alene, which is like
Fourth vote,
on the tippy top where
Timmy. That's 2 votes Timmy, 2 votes left.
Coeur d'Alene.
And 23rd person voted out of Tumblr Survivor Kuwait and the 8th member of our jury,
Yeah, it's like way
Timmy.
like to get
Timmy,
to it, you
the
have
tribe
to-
has spoken, and it is time for you to go.
It's not a day trip.
I know.
This is the where I can say shit.
Yeah, you can say real quick.
This is like the 8,000th time in a row I've got 6th place. I don't know what the hell I could do to get past this slump. Great game, guys. Like, honestly, great game. It is what it is. And I'll see you at FTC.
I love you.
Bye, Timmy.
Bye.
Love you, Timmy. You rock, dog.
He's such a good person.
He is very nice.
He's
All
so
right.
nice.
That was like the kindest goodbye anyone's ever had. So
That was
And-
so sweet.
It wasn't y'all a bunch of liars.
And with that vote, congratulations on making it to the final 5. This game still has a little bit left to be played. Still time to make moves. Still time for anyone to win. So everyone can grab your stuff. I'm at camp. I will post your challenge in just a moment. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, guys.